Hi, everyone. My name is Bethany Widman. I am so excited to welcome you all today to our 2024 Research Trial Results webinar. Before we get into things, I just want to introduce our agronomy team here at the Andersons. Like I said, my name is Bethany Widman. I'm a research agronomist here. I coordinate all of our third-party research trials. So all the research results that you'll see today, this is kind of a cumulative of what I do throughout the year. I also work closely with marketing and help develop content throughout the year as well. Along with myself, we have Jessica Link and Jeff Gilder, who are our two sales agronomists. You'll see them going out with our sales team throughout the entire year. They put a lot of miles on with them. They're generally the two that you see on our webinars. Between the three of us this year, we have put on a lot of miles for our research trials. We have gone over 10,000 miles all across North America this year to visit our different trial locations. So a lot of hours, a lot of miles, a lot of work has been put into these trials, and I'm super excited to finally be able to share the results with you. Today's agenda, we are going to cover a lot today in today's webinar. First, we're going to go over our research partners, where we're located, why we're located there, building out our high yield programs and how these correlate with our trials, our new aerial applications that we came out this year and our results over those. Then we're going to dive into the corn data. We're going to talk a little bit about humic and fulvic acids while there, and a little bit about plant growth regulators. Then we're going to switch over to soybeans. We're going to talk a lot about foliar nutrition, the value of slow release nitrogen. And then we're going to switch things up, head over to residue management, round it out with our specialty crop trial data, and then how to connect with us as a team at the end. Every year, we strategically place our trial locations all throughout North America. Here is a map highlighted of all the different states that our trials are located in. We want to make sure that we have a broad range of our trial locations to show that our products work in all different climates, soil types, management practices, to really prove that they work no matter where you are. Some of these states highlighted are located where our third-party research farms are located. Some of these states highlighted are where our BEX trials are located. We work closely with BEX every year in different field trials. So as you can see here, we're spread out pretty wide. Like I said, we work closely with BEX every year. Many of our products are featured in their PFR proven tests. We have had many products tested over the years that have received that PFR proven stamp. To become PFR proven, a product needs to be tested for a minimum of 3 years and show a positive ROI each of those years. Last year, we were super excited to add correct to this list. It's a process to go through this, and we were super excited to get that added to our list here. I want to note that throughout this entire presentation, you're going to see that PFR proven stamp at the corner of some of the slides. That means that one or more of those products on that slide are a PFR proven product. I also want to note throughout this presentation, you're going to see ROIs calculated, and I take the crop price from the BEX PFR book that they published this fall, and I use that as my crop price, and then I take our MSRP price for our products and calculate from there. If you want to see how BEX incorporated our products into their trials this year, feel free to go on their website and download their PFR book that they just came out with. This is free to download, and you'll see many of these products listed here, as well as some of our other products from the Andersons. So it's just a really great resource, and I'm super excited to work with them every single year. Before we dive into results, I want to talk a little bit about our high yield programs and how they relate to our field trials. Jeff and Jessica have worked very hard over the years to build out many programs. As you can see, we have quite a list here. These are free to download, and this just serves as a guide for growers to see how our products can fit into their management practices throughout the season. So when Jess and Jeff are building these out, they look at the botany and the physiology of the plant, and they develop they develop the high yield programs out from there. To see which product is going to work best in that crop during a certain growth stage. We then take these to our research trials. Every year we kind of use this as a base, especially for our specialty crops. So some years we'll test out the good, better, best program. We'll test out the entire program. Sometimes we'll take out just the best program, just the good program, and test out those. Or we'll just pull out a few products that are included on these high yield programs. And like I said, this is a base for how we build out our entire research protocol. Brand new in 2024, we just launched our new Arrow product lineup. We are super excited about these two products in this line, our Arrow Blitz and Arrow Mino. Arrow Blitz is a specialized micronutrient blend to help mitigate mid-season stress and boost those yields at harvest. Arrow Mino is a nitrogen with a sugar and an amino acid, so help improve overall health by boosting the energy of that crop during that stage. Both of these products are specially designed so they can be applied with a drone, a plane, or a helicopter. It has a very small use rate of 1 pint per acre. In a corn application, we would recommend that you apply at that V5 to V6 stage or a little bit later at that VT stage. And then in soybeans, we would recommend that V3 to R1 stage or R1 to R4. We were super excited that we could incorporate these into this year's trials. This is our Arrow Mino product. We tested it both in Illinois and Nebraska. We saw some really great results with this. We applied it at that 1 pint per acre again at the V5 stage. V5 is one of those yield determining stages. So the amino acids and the sugars in the Arrow Mino are really going to help promote more rows around in that ear. So they're going to make the nutrients working in that crop a little bit more efficient. And so that's why we're going to see a little bit higher yields at harvest because we're influencing more rows around. As you can see here out in Nebraska, we saw almost a 13 bushel increase with over a $57 ROI. And then out in Illinois, we saw a 7 bushel increase with a $31 ROI. So really great results there. We like to say pictures speak 1,000 words, and this picture definitely does that. We tested our Arrow Blitz products again out in Nebraska and Illinois. This was when we visited out in Nebraska in August. As you can see here, like I said before, that V5 stage is when the crop is determining those rows around the ear. And that's really what we're hoping to influence there. So you can see that we have 18 rows around versus the 14 rows around of that untreated. So we have a bigger ear, it's a fatter ear, it's more filled out. And then we really saw this play into yields at harvest. At both locations, we saw about a 16 bushel increase and over a $70 ROI. Those micronutrients there being more effective within that plant, getting those more rows around. Super excited to see how these products performed out in the field, and we saw some really great results with them. Now we're going to switch over to our corn data. Starting off strong, we have our Season Pass Gold Start with Microcarb and Biopass. With this slide, I really wanted to show the benefit of adding that Biopass into your tank mix. Season Pass alone with the Microcarb showed that it performed really well out in the field. This was in Nebraska again. We saw over a 12 bushel increase. But then when we added in that Biopass, we saw over a 9 bushel increase from that Season Pass with Microcarb alone. This is because we're seeing that Biopass is helping stimulate that root growth, establishing a better root mass earlier in the season. And then that carbon content in the Season Pass Gold Start with Microcarb, that's going to help improve the CEC and the nutrient availability within the soil. So we have that bigger root mass. Those nutrients that are made more available by the Season Pass is going to be taken up by that roots and getting your crop off to a really healthy and robust start to the year. We did this exact same trial out in Illinois, except we switched out the Biopass for PowerPass. PowerPass also is there to help stimulate that root growth, have a better root mass at the beginning of the year. Also, if you're storing your Season Pass before planting season, this is going to increase the salt out temperature, so it's going to improve the storability of your product. Again, here we saw really great results with Season Pass with Microcarb alone, almost an 18 bushel increase, but then by adding in that PowerPass, we improved our yields a little bit there and also that overall ROI. This is our Gold Start 624-6. Many of you are probably pretty familiar with this product. We tested it out in Illinois for the first time this year, and we saw a little over 11 bushel increase and over a $34.50 ROI. So again, a great product that we've tested year after year. It's a really great proven product. I'm going to move into our MicroMark products. These are our granular micronutrient solutions. So as you can see here, these are small spherical granulars. As soon as these granulars come into contact with moisture, they're going to break apart and disperse, and those micronutrients are going to be released into the soil immediately ready for crop uptake when it needs it. So we have our MicroMark DG Humic and our MicroMark DGB. We tested these out in Illinois. We did 2 different application methods this year. We applied them both at the 10-pound rate, but we did a banded application with the planter right over that seed, and then we also did it in a broadcast application. So we really wanted to show that this is a versatile product. It can be applied in many different ways depending on what works best for the grower and their operation. We saw really great results with both that banded and broadcast application. The broadcast there, we saw over a 12 bushel increase and a $45 ROI. And then banded, we saw over a 10 bushel increase and a $36 ROI. The humic acid in this product is going to chelate to nutrients in the soil that weren't readily available for the crop to take up. So it's going to chelate, it's going to make those nutrients available, and then that crop is going to be able to take those up. And so that's why we're going to be able to see these this yield advantage at the end of the year. We did the exact same trial with MicroMark DGB. We saw a little bit of a flip on the application methods here on which one did better, but we still saw some really positive results there with over a 5 bushel increase with that broadcast application and a $12 ROI. And then we saw almost a 15 bushel increase with a $56 ROI there. Again, these are providing your crop with micronutrients early in the season, really helping get that crop off to a good, healthy start and setting it up for success for the rest of the growing season. We have a fun little comic strip, The Adventures of DG Man. These feature our agronomist, Jeff Gilder, on there with DG Man. And these are just a fun way to learn a little bit more about these products, learn about what's in them, how those DG granulars work. This is free to download, so you can scan the QR code there and check those out. But just a fun little way to dive a little bit deeper into what these products are. I've already talked a little bit about humic acid. Many of our products contain a humic acid and or a fulvic acid. It's important to understand these and what they're doing in the soil and in your crop and how it's benefiting you. We have a white paper, The Importance of Humic and Fulvic Acid. Again, this is free to download. You can scan the QR code there and download it now, or you can go to our website and download it. Again, humic and fulvic acid, a super powerful tool in today's agriculture. It helps you improve your overall nutrient availability, your soil structure, and so it's really important to understand how that's working and helping you have a more robust and healthy crop. This is our Ultramate Zinc product. We applied this in a side dress application at the 1 gallon rate out in Nebraska. This contains a humic acid as well. We saw some really great results with this here. We saw almost a 10 bushel increase with a $30 ROI. In this trial, we compared it to a straight 28% and an N stabilizer, which is a grower standard. So we wanted to show that our product could perform at least the same or a little bit better. And as you can see here, we did perform a little bit better than that grower standard. So we're super excited with those results there. That zinc is going to help you have a bigger, better root mass. This is especially in drier seasons. It's going to help your roots go down deeper to that moisture that it needs. And then this is our Ultramate B product, also applied at the side dress at a 1 gallon rate. Again, we compared it to the straight 28 with the N stabilizer. This product with that boron needs to be spoon-fed to the crop throughout the entire season. It's immobile in plants, so you got to spread out your applications. It only needs a little bit, but it does need it throughout the entire growing season. So this is a great product to get that boron to your crop early on in the season. I'm going to switch gears a little bit now and move into our foliar products. I'm going to talk about our Phosphix product, which contains plant growth regulators, otherwise known as PGRs. It's important to understand how these are working in your plant and what they're doing. As you can tell from the image here on the screen, there are a lot of different kinds of PGRs, but in our products, we use gibberellins, auxins, and cytokinins. What these are hormones that help aid in stem elongation, cell division, fruit development, and the overall plant growth processes. They increase the nutrient uptake efficiency, which then will help reduce the effects of stress. So again, these are really key and important in helping mitigate that stress, making those nutrients more efficient within your plant. Like I said, our Phosphix Gen 2 product, it contains those cytokinins, gibberellins, and auxins. We applied this at 1 pint at the V5 stage out in Illinois. At that V5 stage, again, the rows around are being determined. So those cytokinins, gibberellins, and auxins are really able to do their work here by making those nutrients more efficient, helping that crop focus on more grain production. I also want to call out here that Phosphix has its own web page. Here you'll find the label, the product sheet, more FAQs about this product. I also want to say too that all of the products that you're going to see in this presentation has its own web page. So if you want to learn a little bit more about these products, if you want to look at the label, at the product sheet, feel free to go to our website and find those. Every product that you'll see here today has its own web page, so feel free to check those out. Again, pictures speak 1,000 words. We tested Phosphix out in Nebraska as well. We added in Sweet and Easy this time into the tank mix. We still applied it at that V5 stage. Sweet and Easy is our proprietary sugar blend. It's going to help give your crop a little bit of a boost of energy there, making those nutrients more efficient within that plant. We saw some really great results out in Nebraska with this. Again, Phosphix by itself performed really well at that V5 stage with over a 12 bushel increase and a $52 ROI. But by adding in that Sweet and Easy there, we were able to increase our yields a little over a bushel there and improve our ROI a little bit. So a great way to improve your overall yields and ROI there. And then this is our Correct with Sweet and Easy. Again, I wanted to show the additional benefits of adding that Sweet and Easy into your tank mix. Those sugars are going to help make that plant a little bit more energetic. So it's going to be taking up those nutrients a little bit better, making them more efficient within the plant. During this V5 stage, there is a lot of rapid growth happening in this crop. So it's kind of a stressful point in the season for that crop. Your crop also needs potassium. It needs about 60% of its potassium for the growing season around this time. So our Correct product is a 3020. So it has a potassium component there. It's immediately available for the crop to take up. And then again, with that Sweet and Easy there, we can see how it's helping boost that energy, making that potassium more efficient within the plant. We saw Correct by itself performed really good, over 14.5 bushel increase, but then by adding in that Sweet and Easy, we saw almost a 6 bushel increase there. So just a really great additive into your tank mix, a great way to improve your overall ROI there pretty significantly and your yields. We're going to switch over to soybeans now. This is our first pass product. This is our PFR proven soybean starter. This picture was taken up in South Dakota. We applied it at the 3-gallon rate in furrow. As you can see in this picture, versus the untreated, we have more pods overall on that plant. We also have more 3 and 4 pods versus the untreated. We really saw this play into yields then this year. We saw over a 2 bushel increase with almost a $15 ROI. And this is one of those products that we like to test year after year. We want to show that this product is going to work year after year for you. So we tested this last year in South Dakota as well. We tested it at the exact same location, and we saw great results with it last year as well as this year. So this is just a really great product to get in furrow there with your soybeans, start that crop off to a really healthy start to this season, setting it up for success. Our Correct Plus product can also be applied in furrow. Again, I wanted to show the benefit of adding in that Sweet and Easy. So Correct Plus alone, we saw almost a 2 bushel increase and a $15 ROI. But then adding in that Sweet and Easy into the tank mix gave us an additional bushel of yield, but it also increased that ROI by over $10. So pretty significant there. We're going to switch to foliars now. Just like corn, this Phosphix, it's got those cytokinins, gibberellins, and auxins. A lot of growth is happening at this stage. Yield is going to start being determined pretty soon in this crop, and we really want to mitigate some of that mid-season stress so you have a healthier plant. So this was out in Illinois. We saw over a 1.5 bushel increase and an $11 ROI. We did the same out in South Dakota, but we added Sweet and Easy into that tank mix. Sweet and Easy, it's going to give that crop a little bit of energy again. We saw almost a 2 bushel increase here and a $13.50 ROI. And as I'm talking about foliar nutrition, and if you want to learn more about why it's so important to get those nutrients to your crop throughout the entire growing season, this is a white paper that we have that goes a little bit more in depth about foliar nutrition, why it's important and how it's a benefit to you. So you can scan that QR code there. You can find it on our website again. And then we have Correct as well on soybeans. Just like corn, soybeans are going to need potassium at high levels at this point in the growing season. It's going to help improve that test weight and that grain quality. We also added in that Sweet and Easy there, again, giving that a little bit of energy to that crop to make that potassium more efficient within the plant. We saw over a 2.5 bushel increase and a $23 ROI up in South Dakota with this product. I'm going to talk a little bit about our overpass product next, which contains a slow-release nitrogen. Nitrogen is the most essential nutrient to crops. It's required for providing proteins and amino acids, chlorophyll production, and many other key functions in the plant. If nitrogen is limited, it will affect your yields negatively. So it's important to get nitrogen to your crop throughout the entire growing season to make sure it has what it needs to succeed at the end of the year. We have a white paper over this as well. You can download that and get a little more in-depth into slow-release nitrogen. But like I said, our Overpass product contains a slow-release nitrogen. So this is our Overpass 10-2-10 with that addition of Sweet and Easy. You're going to have a foliar feeding of nitrogen from 10 to 14 days. So you can have around 2 weeks of nitrogen feeding, a great way to get that nitrogen to your crop, slowly feeding it to that crop there. Again, this is a product we like to test year after year to see how it works. We've tested it since 2022 in the same location, and we've seen every year that this product has performed really well. We're going to really switch gears now and move into residue management. The goal with our residue management trials is to not only break down that residue, but we really want to show that the nutrients are being released from that residue, being put back into the soil, and then being taken up by that next year's crop. So this year we wanted to really focus on that within our trials and show that those nutrients are being added to the soil, and then that crop is getting those additional nutrients throughout the season. So up in Wisconsin, we did our residue trials. We applied BioReverse with microcarb in the fall. We then planted corn into it that spring, and then at that V5 stage, we did a tissue test. We wanted to see the boron, zinc, and manganese parts per million in that plant, and then the NP and K percentages. As you can see here, we saw some really great results with improving our parts per million with that boron, zinc, and manganese. We saw a 2 to 3 parts per million increase, and then those NP and K percentages went up quite a bit. So we can see that as that residue was breaking down, it was releasing those nutrients into the soil, and then that crop was taking up those nutrients that were made available to them. We then want this to play into the vigor of that crop. So a vigor test is just to see if that crop is healthier, more robust versus that untreated strip. We wanted to make sure that those nutrients were being effective within that plant. So we can see here at V4, R1, R3, This crop was a healthier, more robust crop. And then we really saw this play into yields at harvest. So here I have BioReverse by itself with yields there. We saw over a 5.5 bushel increase with that. But then adding in that microcarb, we saw a 8.89 bushel increase versus the untreated, and we saw a really good ROI there with $22. We also, another goal that we have with applying that BioReverse with microcarb in the fall is by improving our soil temperature at planting. So improving your soil temperature is going to get that crop out of the ground a lot faster, and we saw a 2-degree increase, so that's pretty significant. That's going to get your crop out of the ground a whole lot faster in the spring. We did that exact same trial with BioReverse, except we switched out the microcarb with Sweet and Easy. The Sweet and Easy, again, that sugar, that's going to be a food source for those microbes in the soil. So those microbes are going to feed off that sugar. They're going to start populating a lot faster. They're going to start warming up that soil a lot faster. They're going to be breaking down that residue, releasing those nutrients back into the soil. We saw across the board here with our boron, zinc, and manganese parts per million, we increased it by over 3 parts per million on each of those. So really significant numbers there. And then especially in the nitrogen percentage there, we saw a 0.11 percentage increase in our nitrogen content within that plant. So really, really significant numbers there. Again, we want to see that it's making that crop healthier and more robust throughout the entire growing season. So we can see throughout the entire growing season here, this crop was healthier, it was more robust, and then we really saw that play into yields again. We saw over a 12 bushel increase and a $42 ROI with that BioReverse with Sweet and Easy. And then at planting, that soil temperature, we saw almost a 3-degree increase. So really significant numbers there again. If you want to learn more about what microbes are included in our products and more details about our biological products, feel free to download our Biological Solutions brochure. Each of our products contains 3 billion colony-forming units per pint. These microbes are naturally occurring. We source them from high-performing soils. Once these microbes come out of sporulation, they begin reproducing and populating about every 45 to 60 minutes, depending on the soil temperature. So a colder soil, they're not going to be quite as fast, but then as that soil temperature warms up, they're going to start working a little bit faster. As they start reproducing, populating more, working a little faster, they're going to warm up that soil temperature a lot faster. They're going to break down that residue a lot faster and get those nutrients back into the soil. We did the exact same trials that we did with planting corn into that where we applied the BioReverse, we planted soybeans as well. And again, we wanted to show that we're getting those nutrients released from the residue back into the soil and then getting that into next year's crop. We saw a really great increase, especially with the zinc here in the parts per million, over 2 parts per million. And then we saw really great percentages overall with our NP and Ks. These may look like small numbers on a graph, but to a plant, these are really significant numbers. It's really getting a lot more nutrients into the plant. So this may look like a small number, but it is very significant in that plant. Again, we want to see that plant be healthier and more robust because of those additional nutrients that it's received. So V4 to R7, we saw that this crop was healthier, more robust. And then at harvest, we saw over a 6.5 bushel increase with a $57 ROI. And then we saw that soil temperature warm up over 1 degree at planting there. Again, did the exact same trial, BioReverse with Sweet and Easy. Those sugars, they're making those microbes reproduce faster. They're breaking down that residue, getting those nutrients back into the soil and then into the plant later that year. Again, we saw really great results, especially with the zinc here. We saw over 3 parts per million increase. And then with that nitrogen percentage there as well, a 0.23 percentage increase. So really significant numbers there again. Again, played into the plant vigor throughout the entire growing season. We saw that healthier, more robust plant throughout the entire growing season there. And then we saw that play into yields again at harvest with over a 7.5 bushel increase. And then that temperature at planting, we saw almost a 2-degree increase. So just some really great results there. We were super excited to see how this trial played out throughout the entire year. We're going to switch over to specialty crops now. I'm not going to go super in depth into these trials in this webinar. This year we tested on sugar beets, potatoes, and we added canola for our first year. We were super excited to add that in, add it to our portfolio of crops. Like I said, we're not going to go super in depth into these. I'm just going to give a little sneak peek into each of these trials. We're going to be coming out with some videos on our YouTube page over all of the trial results for these crops individually. We're going to go over each crop individually. We're going to dive deeper into all of the results that we received. Also keep your eye out for our 2024 research guide. That'll be coming out at the beginning of the year, and that's going to include all the results that you saw today, as well as the specialty crop results and many more that you will not be seeing today. Like I said, we tested canola this year for the first time, and at the beginning of the webinar, like I said, we use our high yield programs as a base. So this year we did a full season program where we tested Gold Start 624-6, Phosphix, Sweet and Easy, MicroBlitz, and Overpass. This was our full season program taken from our high yield program. So again, we use that high yield program as a base for our protocol. We tested it up in South Dakota, and we were super excited to see some really great results there. We saw over an 11% average yield increase versus that untreated. We also did a full season approach with our sugar beets up in Michigan. We really wanted to show with this that full season program is going to work, but also that Correct Plus application at that 1 gallon rate at canopy closure, and then applying Correct Plus again at that 1 gallon rate 30 days before harvest is going to help improve your sugar percentage in your crop. So we saw a 0.9% sugar percentage increase. This may look like a small number to some, but to a sugar beet grower, this means that we're getting more sugar content within each individual beet. And we really saw that because those two Correct Plus applications. And then we also did potato trials. So we tested our Overpass 10-2-10 and a Correct Plus and a Sweet and Easy. Each of these treatments included a grower standard. So we did a grower standard alone. We did a grower standard with the addition of Correct Plus and Sweet and Easy. And then we did a grower standard with the Overpass and Correct Plus and Sweet and Easy. We saw really great results with this all across the board, improving our overall total yields for these potatoes. So some really great results there. Like I said, we didn't go too far in depth with these, but we're going to get deeper into those. So stay tuned for some videos that we're going to be coming out with, getting more in depth and showing a lot more results that we had from these trials. If you have any questions about anything you saw in today's webinar, whether it be a product, a crop, a treatment, why we did what we did, please contact your territory manager. They are more than welcome to answer any questions you might have from today's webinar. And also stay up to date with our agronomy team. Subscribe to our Anderson's Plant Nutrient YouTube channel. Like I said, we're going to be coming out with some videos over more trial results over the next following weeks and months. Sign up for our email list. This will notify you when our research guide comes out about our latest products. Again, reach out to our sales team if you have any questions. And then check out product information on our webpage at Anderson's Plant Nutrient /ag. You can scan the QR code there and it will take you straight to our website. This has a lot of important information about our products. There's a news tab on there that'll inform you about what's happening at the Andersons, the newest products we come out with, updates throughout the entire growing season. And lastly, I just want to thank everyone for joining us today. Like I said, a lot of hard work has gone into these trials, and I'm super glad that you could join us. I do have a QR code here. I would love to get some feedback from you guys today. Help us know how we can continue delivering valuable content to you guys. I hope this webinar was informational for you today and you learned a little bit of something. You can also, at the end of that survey, you can enter your name in to be drawn for a Yeti water bottle. So if you just take a second there, it's just a really short survey. I would really appreciate that. And I just want to thank everyone again for joining us today and have a great rest of your day.